Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of AgriLife Today. I'm Blair Fannin.
And I'm Kathleen Phillips.
Well, this week we'll hear about a mysterious pest that's threatening Texas grain sorghum, plus the weekly Texas Crop and Weather Report.
And we'll look at a new research project using an octocopter that is helping Texas A&M forestry research take flight.
All this and more as we take a look at Texas agriculture and Texas A&M AgriLife across the state.
A tiny insect of unknown origin could pose a serious threat to the billion-dollar Texas grain sorghum crop, according to AgriLife Extension Service experts. Entomologists are tracking the insect's movement and advising farmers to be on the lookout.
The new pest of sorghum is the sugarcane aphid. This species is indistinct from the sugarcane aphid that invaded Florida in 1977 and then arrived to Louisiana in 1999. However, right now we don't know if this is a new biotype. It means it switched from sugarcane to only feeding on sorghum, or if it's a new invasive species that came from abroad. Probably we are going to have some big problems the next coming season. And this is something that we need to worry. We are going to do some evaluation of pesticides, coordinated evaluation with researchers from Louisiana, the Coastal Bend, in Beaumont, Corpus Christi, here in the Rio Grande Valley, and also with Dr. Armstrong in Oklahoma.
In this week's Texas Crop and Weather Report, while drought conditions for large parts of Texas were rolling back, the dry weather continued to limit options for producers in the Panhandle, Rolling Plains, and South Plains regions. The Panhandle remained dry with the western half generally drier, said Rick Ackerman, AgriLife Extension Agent for Des Smith County. One option is irrigation, Ackerman said, but without supplemental rainfall, dropping aquifer levels will lead to dropping plant rates and looking at other cropping systems.
Dr. Soren Popescu is developing a unique way to get up and close and personal with forests. The Texas A&M AgriLife research scientist is working with a team to use an octocopter, or an unmanned air vehicle complete with a camera stabilization platform, autopilot, and cameras with multispectral capabilities to fly over tall trees and gauge the health of a forest.
We have this project funded from two sources, by an NSF, National Science Foundation project, and or grant, and by a NASA grant. So the advantage of the system is that we can collect data when we want it, depending on our needs, how we wanted it, customized to our needs, and in a cost-effective manner, without having to spend on aerial acquisitions, airborne acquisitions, or on satellite data. So it's really a cost-effective way of acquiring highly specialized and customized research data that we can use for other projects, for calibrating remote sensing observations, even from space or from airborne platforms.
Doctors Bruce McCarl and Marta Lodarts recently co-authored a policy brief and book chapter titled Climate Change and Energy, Interrelationships and Possible Policy Approaches. The policy paper outlines climate change in the U.S. since 2000 and examines factors and provides possible mitigation steps to reduce potential climatic threats. The research is one of a 7-part series of briefings on energy by the National Agricultural and Rural Development Policy Center.
While tax laws may have made it easier to pass the farm from one generation to the next, changing times have some families looking differently at the old home place, according to a 30-year veteran of agriculture estate planning. Dr. Wayne Hayengay, AgriLife Extension economist and attorney, said people want their kids to want an inherited farm, but that doesn't always work. Instead of having land, they may prefer a larger retirement plan or to increase the size of the home elsewhere, and thus may prefer to just sell off the farm. It's often said that people had to sell the farm to pay the estate taxes, he said, but the real reason often is that some people just don't want the farm. Hayengay is currently conducting workshops in Central Texas to help people learn how to handle estate planning with land.
Hundreds of Texas farmers and ranchers welcome the rain and spend a day indoors listening to the latest opportunities in the cattle market, potential for alternative crops, as well as other commodity presentations at the 2014 Blackland Income Growth Conference at the Exco Events Center in Waco. In the beef session, Extension Beef Cattle Specialist Rick Machin said there are opportunities for cattle producers in the future even though record prices continue. Premiums will be paid for cattle that fit high-quality yield grades due to the fact that there are fewer cattle nationally. That's a look at Texas agriculture and Texas A&M AgriLife.
For these stories and more, please visit our website at today.agrilife.org.